Welcome to Module 3. This module is all about creating newsletters and campaigns. Again, we're building each block towards the funnel. We have the tags, then the contacts with the tags. Now we are going to create a newsletter, which is the simplest form of communication within System.io, and then we're going to create a campaign. All that walking towards the delivery of our freebie through our funnel. Because a funnel without a campaign, newsletters, and the contacts and tags, they don't work. They simply will not deliver your product. So that's why we're building. Again, if you haven't created your free account, make sure that you go to the link down below. So here on the main dashboard, we're going to click newsletters. Right now, we don't have any newsletter because we're just starting. Say, I do send weekly newsletters and I do have to create them weekly, or you can create them in batch. I try to create them in batch, but you have to create each newsletter and schedule them for the next few weeks. However, that the newsletters are the ones that you use to promote maybe, let's say, new offers or new products or provide value. Because remember, you want to nurture them. You don't only want to sell things to them, you also want to provide value to them. Again, create. Very simple. Now, there are two different newsletters, way to create newsletters. There's a visual editor, which is a template basically, and a classic editor. I'm going to show you how the template looks. However, I don't use the template. I use the classic editor for one specific reason. I'm very simple. And if I send a newsletter with a lot of, if I even received a newsletter with a lot of pictures and things, for me, in my mind, that is a commercial thing, like Amazon, Costco, Kirkland. Like it's a big store. So right out the bat, I'm like, oh, that's a big store. I do the classic editor because I'm a small business. I wanted to be very personal, like me talking to them. Not that I don't add images, but very simple. So that's why I'm going to show you the classic editor. The second reason why I'm not going to go step by step on the template is because in System.io, you're going to see that all the steps to create something out of a template is the same. So once I show you how to build a funnel, you are going to know how to build a template on a newsletter things, but you're going to see it. And that's why I don't want to be too repetitive, because once you learn the funnel, you know everything on System.io. Okay, so let's create this newsletter. I'm going to show you first the visual editor real quick. Let's say, here is the best ebook ever. No, here is your, okay, my name. And here, actually, this is the email that I have. Here's your first newsletter. Right now, it's showing no tags on this newsletter, so there's no one to send this newsletter right now. But as soon as you tag, as soon as you add a tag, you're gonna start seeing email sent, your percentage, your clicks, the status, and if you want to edit, share, or duplicate or delete, it's right here. Okay, here if you want to create a new newsletter, just click here. Simple. It's just a template. If you want to change anything, you click here and it's going to take you to this area, which you're going to see is the same area as the funnel. The only thing is that the funnel, you have so many options here on the left side, much more than an email, but it's the same. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna show you the classic editor, and you see you have the option here to go and to the classic editor. If it works. Okay, so let's say we're gonna create the newsletter that is gonna deliver the freebie, the best ebook ever. I don't use a preview, but if you would like it, sometimes when you receive an email, you have maybe the first sentence of the email as a preview. Whatever you want that to show, you can write it here. I don't use it. It's up to you. Okay, so let's say, hi. Always, always, always use either first name, last name, or first and last name. I do use first name, so you choose here a substitute and a comma. Always, please, please personalize that. Great new, your best ebook ever is here. Regards. Okay, so that's the email. Of course, use use ChatGPT to help you out, or write it the best as you can. Or if you are a writer, a copywriter, just make sure that you do this really nice and it shows your personality. Remember that all this is about the audience, your subscribers. Your audience is not my audience. They're very different people. Okay, let me walk you through this. So paragraph, this is like a Word document, okay? Paragraph, I want that to be a heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. For a paragraph, if I wanted to move it to have some indent or not, if I wanted to be in the centered, like I said, Word document. The substitute, you have all this substitute, okay? If you want something like that, you just have to put the cursor where you want it and pass a code. That's it. So make sure that the substitutes that you're using on an email or a campaign are the ones that are mandatory, that you set up to be mandatory on the funnel and the contact form, okay? It's very important. That's why I only choose first name, because again, I'm very simple, email first name. That's all I work with. If you want a bold, italic on the right. Now, you have a couple of ways to deliver your freebie. The normal way, like the one that I've been using, is that you can add a link to the word here or whatever word you're using. So you're just going to select the word, click here on the link, and let's say it's here. And you check mark, and that's it. This is if you want your digital downloads to be stored somewhere else. If you use Dropbox or use WordPress or whatever platform software you use. You can also here add an image, either the URL or the actual image. Let's say I want to add this image because this is my ebook and it's huge. So we're just gonna go down here and make it small, as small as you want. And you can have alternate text. You can have an image caption if you want. You can put it on the right, you can put it on the left, and you can add a link if you want. So that means that I add my links everywhere, people. Blog.com. I add them everywhere. So now they can access their ebook clicking here and clicking here. They have a third option. If you don't have a software or you don't pay for Dropbox or WordPress, System.io store all your documents or your digital products and videos. You just have to go here, attachment, and that's it. Let's say this is my attachment, upload, and that's it. You see, it is attached. So you can't even have all three on one newsletter for the subscriber. It's up to you. So let's say we finish building up our newsletter. We go over the email settings on the right. Sender name, make sure the name that you use is the one that you want to be recognized. The sender email, of course, I'm using an outlook.com here. That is not recommendable. It's going to go to spam. So try to get your domain so you can have your own email. Also, it just look more professional. Okay, contact settings. Let's say you are creating this newsletter to promote a new sale or a new digital product or a new course. You're going to sell it. My recommendation, again, this is personal prerogative. If someone just got my freebie, about 2 days after, we're going to do it after on the campaign module, about 2 days after that person, that subscriber enters on a campaign, on a welcome sequence campaign. Sorry about that. And that welcome sequence campaign should have between 2 to 3 emails. There you're gonna present yourself, why do you have that business, what inspires you, what you have to offer, you're gonna share value. You're just gonna open your heart in those emails from that campaign. So that means that they received my freebie 2 days after the first welcome email, maybe 2 days after the next one, and maybe 2 days after the last one. Or let's say it's only 2 emails from the welcome sequence. That means about 7 days that that person is gonna be getting to know you. That subscriber is gonna be, you're gonna be nurturing that subscriber. You're gonna be trying to gain their confidence. If you send them a newsletter with a new offer or a new digital product, they're gonna say, this person is just here to sell me stuff. I have plenty of that, believe me, unsubscribe. So what I do is I add 7 days. Any subscribers that subscribe within the last 7 days will not receive my offer newsletter or new product newsletter. Very important, every single newsletter you have to add a tag, because if not, the system will not send that email to anyone. So we add the best ebook ever. You see how everything is linking the tag that we created in module 2 to the contact that we created in that same module. Now it has an email that is going to receive that. Right now we're skipping the whole funnel thing because the first step for that subscriber to come to you is the funnel, but we're building the foundation before opening the funnel to the world, okay? And if you want to exclude some tags, like I mentioned before, if you're going to promote something about RVing and you promote RVing and homeschooling, don't send RV things to homeschool people or vice versa. So just be aware of that. And this is just an explanation of your substitute. Now we're done. We have a newsletter done. You can just save it and say, I'm going to double check that newsletter tomorrow and I'll schedule it. Or you can save it in test, which I 100% recommend. I always send a test email to my email. I check it on, I verify that everything looks good in my desktop and my mobile. Remember that almost all of us received our emails in our cell phones. So make sure that it looks good on the mobile as well. You can save and send it, or you can save and schedule it. If you're going to schedule it, so you just click here choose whenever. Let's say this is your weekly newsletter and you send your weekly newsletter every Tuesday. So let's say next Tuesday. And I don't know, maybe your audience is awake very early in the morning. So you want to make sure that they receive that at 6:30 so they read it with their coffee. And you apply it. Save and schedule. And you exit. And that's it. You have your first newsletter with the selected tag. You haven't sent any emails because it's going to send on July 16. Nobody has opened it or clicked because it haven't been sent, but you're going to see that. Now, let's say you want to do some bulk newsletters. Just create the next one or just duplicate that. And that's it. If every week you have the same type of email, just duplicate it and save it. Duplicate that and change a couple of things, of course. But if the same format, people are going to get used to your format. Remember that you have a brand, use your brand colors, all that you can do in Canva. I'm not a Canva expert or a marketing expert or social media expert, but I've learned that the colors have to be in accordance with your brand. Okay. And I'm going to show you that whenever we're doing the funnel, but very important that you have your brand ready. Okay, so you just created your first newsletter. In the next video, we're gonna create our campaigns.